Shalom, Mr. First foremost, I do want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Shah, Hashem, Kakadash, to the apostles, and else great millstone for teaching us his truth, peace, and blessings to the hope like of Israel. Yahweh's the name of the unfallen Hebrew, by Hashem's name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the Miyans Son. Background lesson, as seen in the title, you're going to be going to civil unrest regarding the situation which you see happening over there in LA, and how you're going to continue to see sedition among men, which, when you go to that word sedition, goes to riot/rebellion. And as we continue to progress later into the days, these things are going to continue to pick up as you get throughout the scriptures. This is another end time sign. But I do want to go into these two articles, get a couple of scriptures, and that's going to be the point. This is Trump orders National Guard to LA after clashes. And really, this is the type of reaction that this devil wants. He'll purposely cause problems and then swoop in as a so-called hero with the solution. Order out of chaos. As the Trump orders National Guard to LA after clashes, in order to establish that control. This is why they're going to continue to apply that pressure. As you're going to get in Revelations 12 and 12 later on, they're going to the great wrath they're preparing to come down with. Now, I'll really into this, and I'll get the other articles. Pretty much, going to speak on the same thing. Just get what I need from it. Pick the meat from the bones. And as the U.S. President Donald Trump has ordered 2,000 National Guardsmen to Los Angeles to deal with unrest over raids on undocumented migrants. And it goes to show who the target of this double attack is. Jake, Israel, the 12 tribes. And Jake will soon come to realize that this devil does not like you one bit. And you had a lot of these Jakes, Issachar, which are the so-called Mexicans today, put their faith and trust in Donald Trump, and look what happened. End up kicking you out. Now, as Trump said, the troops had done a great job in the Californian city, which saw a second day of the clashes between protesters and by federal agents on Saturday. Tear gas was used to disperse crowds as residents of the predominantly Latino Paramount District clashed with the Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Real down says, and as many as 118 arrests were made in LA this week as a result of ICE operations, including 44 on Friday. California Governor Gavin Newsom had condemned this raid as cruel. To get the other article and get these scriptures, not be too long of a lesson, but you are seeing chaos, brewing. As the Trump authorizes 2,000 National Guard troops to deploy to LA amid ICE protests. And once you can go back to that point, which you can actually get in 2 Kings 15 and 17, go into how a man shall desire to go into the city shall not be able. You're going to have this devil begin to shut this place down, implement these lockdowns, declaring martial law. I see here they sent out 2,000 National Guard troops. So they're going to begin to tighten that grip. But it says California governor calls move purposely inflammatory and says it will escalate tensions in amid immigration crackdown. And we've been saying through Sprint Preview how Hashem Shai, I mentioned multiple times throughout many lessons going to how Donald Trump is being used as that catalyst to stir up division and bring about chaos. Now read a little bit and look at those scriptures. Now, Donald Trump on Saturday authorized the deployment of 2,000 guard troops to Los Angeles after an immigration crackdown erupted in a mass protest for a second day, and police in riot gear used tear gas on bystanders. So that's the point right there. Let's get these scripts at hand. This is 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1 through 4, as I brought up earlier. This is also a teller, a telltale sign we're nearing the end. And it says, he answered me then and said, measure the time diligently in itself. Now, how to measure times are in by these signs and these prophecies. And hey, we're nearing the end of this place. And when our seat parts on his past, which I told you before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Verse 3, therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, which is the main point I wanted. One more time from my top. Therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. We read in the first verse going to how we're to measure the times that we're in. Now I jump to verse 4. Then shalt thou understand that the Most High spake those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So further going to this how, we're at the end of this place, man. Luke 21:25, for at that point, it should be signs in the sun and the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. So once in a telltale sign, we're knowing the end of this place. These things are not to be taken lightly. People will see its eyes, it's just another day. It's just another day. Well, not to this scale as well as this frequent. And what's this going to get a lot worse? There's no peace, no safety come to this place, man. It's 2 Ezra 15 and 15 through 17. For the sword and the destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Modern day sword is a gun, these different weapons. Verse 16. For there should be sedition among men, and evading one another shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of action shall stand in their power. So you're seeing that sedition among men. This civil unrest. So this is where you're going to have this devil, take advantage of the chaos, once again, order out of chaos, and, put their foot down, to tighten that grip, establish that control. Verse 17, the man shall desire to go into the city, shall not be able. Let's get Jeremiah 37. Let's dog it real quick. Alright, Jeremiah 37. And it said, last today's great, and none is like it, even time of Jacob's trouble. The time of our trouble, and really specifically for the wicked of our people that don't want to take heed to these warnings, that don't want to seek the Lord. This is coming your way. But those in this faith and the truth will also be tried, we're going to be tested. But as we read in the latter part of the verse, but he shall be saved out of it. The Lord is going to defend and protect his prophets in these coming times. The elect, the 1/3, which one going to consist of the 144,000, the rest of the men, your women and children. That's who the Lord is going to redeem and protect, which can save out this trouble, which we'll pray that we're of that hopeful elect, Lord's will. Now let's get these last two scriptures. Just quick into spirit once again. It's Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devils come unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So his devil's getting ready to crack down. He's going to show his true colors. He's going to show you why he's the wicked, and why he's especially called the devil. He's going to show his horns. That's why they're beginning to get sloppy. Because once they know they have to be a short time, that's why they're rushing to implement their plans and put them into action. Now they're being exposed and caught for things that they have done and is doing now. But this is a closing scripture. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but then shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will come, it will not tarry, meaning it will not delay. And what does that vision speak of? The signs, the prophecies. So for the vision awaits, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. We're in those appointed times as written and spoken within the scriptures. So further going to show just how close we are to the end of this place. You can also get another scripture in 2 Ezra 16:37. Going into those birth pains, as we get closer to that deliverance, closer to our Lord Yahweh's return, those birth pains are going to be at its peak, at its highest. So we're seeing a lot of things happening. But then the point was made. Lord's lesson was edifying. I do close out, give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Shabbat, Shalom, and Shalom. See you next one, Lord's will.